Hi, Cole here, and it's time for the October Zodiac blessings. I am about a week and a half late. It's October 11th, and that is just how the cookie crumbles. It's actually a very special day to me. October 11th was my grandmother's birthday. She is who primarily raised me growing up. And it's also my father's birthday, who is in so many ways responsible for the way in which I see the world, both of them. My grandmother being a psychic card reader, and also a badass lady in general, and my dad taught me about the law of attraction and manifestation and miracles and just love, a way of love that I never truly understood until I met him. So I just needed to show up to this offering today in honor of them and not push it aside any longer. On October 1st, I had plans on making these videos. Every first of the month, I plan on making the videos. However, that day I was exhausted and just needed to rest and wound up just sleeping the entire day, and that was what was appropriate. And because this is a blessing that I'm offering from my heart, it is in no way at this time, I'm not receiving compensation for it. If there are ads on these videos, it's because YouTube is putting up the ads. I don't know how to do that. I just need to make sure that I can show up and do them without feeling like I'm depleting myself, because that is not why I'm doing them. I'm doing them because I need to do them. I want to do them. They make me happy. And this is just a practice of how to offer from the heart in a way that doesn't feel like martyrdom. This is something that I constantly I hit a wall with, where I have so much to give and so much love to offer, whether it be in personal relationships, in friendships, in my work environment, as a healer, whatever it is. I have so much to give, and then I give and give and give, and then I give too much, and then I avoid, and I block, and I hide, and I, sabotage. So this is an active exercise in not doing that. So that being said, the way that we're going to do this month's readings is I don't know how to speak right now. Apparently, I just had a private yoga meditation client, and then I had a private distance healing session. So I'm, still transitioning from one hat to the other, but pretty consistent, right? So the way we're going to do this month is just all one video, and I'll do a timestamp for each of the different zodiac signs as to save some time. My intention for doing this isn't to offer less, but instead it is my hope that if I can figure out a sustainable way to put this offering out, I can make sure that without a doubt I do it every single month, and then hopefully I can start to add to this offering and go back to doing the individual sessions, or maybe, I really want to be able to do a reading at each new moon and full moon, and I really want to be able to do this, but I need to convince myself that it's not a lot of effort. So I'm still in the manifestation of that. That being said, this in no way is something that I don't want to do. I'm so happy to do it. I'm working in 2 different cities at this time, and just getting my bearings as a newly single human being, and I'm having a wonderful time at it. This has been such an incredible transition in life, going from spending nearly 12 years in a committed partnership into seeing the world from the perspective as an empowered woman who is trying to actually follow her dreams and her happiness and her joy. And the transition of moving from a relationship out of obligation, out of, maintaining a friendship with someone that I love in such a deep, deep, deep way, and to see that loving friendship evolve has been really, really fun and exciting. And yeah, I'm just so wonderful. I'm so wonderful. That's not what I meant to say, but sure. I'm just so happy to be able to share along this path in a way that feels empowered, beautiful, and helpful. Good. All right, so like I said, this is my grandmom and my dad's birthday, so we will start with the Libras. Before we get started, though, let's actually take a moment to tap in with each other's energy. I'm going to use some lavender because it just makes me happy. So Libra energy is about bringing things into balance, karmic balance. So not so much like that Sagittarian temperance energy where you're trying to bring your emotions and your naughties into harmony. This is more about, good and bad, the actions that you've taken and what you think is going to come from it. So it's like justice and karma, bringing that into balance. So there's an even playing field. And a lot of Libras can get really caught up on what's fair, what's ideal, what's right. And that can actually create a little bit of pain in the heart space and resentments and difficulty really, truly receiving all the blessings in their life, really feeling into it. A theme for the Libras in my life, at least for my grandmother, I saw a little bit with my father as well, is this theme of martyrdom. So giving, like I was just talking about, giving and giving and giving and giving until the point that you're bitter and you're hurting and you just don't understand why people don't care. You've given so much. Well, if you give so much all the time, people don't realize that you need anything in response. So this is, hopefully these readings today will be an attunement on how to really bring yourself into balance when it comes to this, to see how you've contributed to your current state up until now and how you're going to level the playing field from here on out so that you don't feel like anyone owes you anything and that you don't owe anyone anything. Yeah? So whatever you're giving, making sure that you're receiving, not giving past your means, not giving past anything, and not taking past what you can give or what you don't actually feel comfortable receiving. If you feel funky when someone gives you something, like you shouldn't be taking it, don't take it. You don't have to. You don't have to take it. And then you don't feel guilty later, right? You don't have any issues later. I can think of a friend in my life who, when I was in a difficult situation, was very, very generous with me. And at some point, it started to feel a little funky. Like I started to feel like, I don't really need any. I'm good. But it would still happen where she'd pay for things or whatever. And then eventually she got really annoyed with me. And I knew she was going to. And because I felt funky about it too. It felt like, you're giving me a little bit too much. Like, I don't think I need all this, and actually I don't really even want what you're giving me, like I don't, thank you, but like I don't even want to be there. I don't want to participate in that. So a lot of this is really kind of listening to that inner guidance so that you're not accumulating karma that you don't even need, right? So how do we live in a way where we're not getting weighed down by what we owe people and things like that? Or feeling heavy because we've given so much. So just balancing that out. Being able to say no. All of that good stuff. So that's the intention. Sorry that was so wordy. We're already at 8 minutes. So let's take one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Out through your mouth. And I'd like you to imagine that you have a pendulum just swaying side to side at your third eye. And just allow yourself to maybe rock a little bit from side to side, breathing here. And calling on Reiki, the universe, higher power, archangels, highest energy, all corners of the universe. Please assist me today in offering the information, the guidance, the intuitive blessings to my viewer so that they can be more balanced in their life, so that their boundaries are balanced and even, so their karma is balanced, so that they feel at ease, so they feel forgiven, so that they can forgive, so they can be more free and live in a reality that feels more aligned to their ideal. Okay. And then viewer, I want you to imagine your higher self above the crown of your head. Good. And then imagine my higher self as well. So we both have this kind of angelic version of ourselves that it's a little bigger than us, and you can feel it right above the crown of your head. Just imagining that you can feel it if you can. And I want you to give permission to my higher self to connect with your higher self. And as we're connecting, we are not exchanging any energy. I'm not taking anything from you, and you're not giving me anything, and I'm not giving you anything. But we're just connecting in a way where I can be as helpful to you today as possible. And so that you can receive as much as you are ready to receive. All right, namaste. So just to be clear, these readings are in no way predictive. I do not predict anyone's future. I don't want the karma attached to that. I'm not interested whatsoever. But instead, these readings are intended as a blessing for the present moment, as advice, something to keep in mind, something to keep in the back of your head as, I learned something from there. I can think about this differently. That's it. Okay, so just a little bit of sweetness, kindness to support you in the present moment, whenever that present moment may be. It's all happening right now. Anyway, so we'll start with Libra. Oh. So these are not your cards, but you're being asked to let go of some, to walk away, to step away from some things in the past that kind of you're still reflecting on, to not be hoarding your downfalls, to not be hoarding the things that have gone wrong for you, and to start moving forward. Okay. And this is going to allow you to have more financial abundance, but that is not your card. So let's see. So Libra, October 2019. I was going to say 2011. It's weird. Some more blessings. Three of Pentacles and Hierophant. So maybe Libras do have a hard time committing. So might be dating a lot right now. Trying to figure out who you want to commit to. This is an unnecessary burden. You worked really hard to be single, maybe, or whatever, and you feel like you should be dating, but really, you know who you want. Oh, maybe it's time to be single. Just enjoy being single. Let's see. These, I haven't done this in a while. It feels like so long. It's only been a month, but I feel like I was more consistent before. Let's see. So your message of the month is actually Page of Wands. So you can see her. I'm going to say it's a her, right? Just looking out, leaning back a little bit, investigating. Let's see what she has to say to us. Enthusiasm, travel, creativity, and exploration. Nice. Cool, Libra. So I think, focusing this month on the things that bring you excitement, like when you're deciding what you want to do, like, does this make me feel enthusiastic? Does this excite me? Am I passionate about this? and focus your energy there. And I think that's going to be what helps you really balance out some of that karma that I earned. I have all these things that I've conquered in my life, and let that go. When it comes to choosing, say if you're dating a few people at this time, but you're really looking for a commitment, maybe choose the one that you have the most fun with, that you feel the most enthusiastic about spending time with. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily need to make sense logically, but follow your heart. And if it doesn't work out, you weren't committed to anyone anyway. And if one of these other people are meant to be your partner, they'll turn up. You don't need to worry. Don't worry about it so much. Don't take things so seriously. Just have some fun, Libra. Yeah, so confusion is actually quite a blessing. When we're confused, it means that we don't know what we want yet. We don't know what's going on yet. We're still in that place before we get it, right? So if you're feeling confused about what you should choose, just instead, embrace the fact, okay, I don't know what I want yet. That's okay. But for now, I'm going to focus on and invite in and inquire and understand, what am I most enthusiastic about? What brings me joy? What is calling to me? That's going to give you more of an indication of what you do want versus being confused. Cool. All right, Libra. Let's see. A lot of people in my life have Libra energy, actually. I forget how the natal chart goes, but my past life energy was Libra. So a lot of my life path is about letting go of martyrdom and embracing freedom, which I'm not all that good at. I really like to... Anyway, so learning to be free is good for me. Inspiration, the same idea. So yeah, what inspires you? This is going to help you make the choices that you need to make right now. What excites me? What inspires me? It's so obvious, but you're thinking too heavy into like, what's right? What do they, they've been so good to me, blah, blah, I owe it to them. No, you don't. You don't. Committing to what brings you the most joy in this moment gives them permission to figure that out for themselves too, right? So just let everything kind of happen the way it should. Just trust that you not wasting their damn time is going to get over yourself. You not wasting their time or its time, whatever it is the best thing that you can do for everyone involved. Posture is a little funky. 16-hour day is crazy. I'm a Taurus rising. I'm not the type of person that works that hard for things. And I'm used to just magically manifesting things. I have no idea what this world is about. But it's been fun to see. Anywho, betrayal. You're afraid that you're going to betray someone, and maybe they're going to, in your mind, that's your big fear. Because you know what it's like to have your heart broken, or, you're afraid you're going to betray yourself or whatever it is. But you got to get over that fear. Living in that place of thinking that you can betray yourself by following what makes you happy. How could that ever be a betrayal? That's not a betrayal. And yeah, maybe people will fight you in that process, but that's their own stuff. They'll get over it. You can still be compassionate. You can still be understanding. You can still communicate, to the point that you feel comfortable communicating. But you are betraying someone by pretending that that's what you want. You're betraying yourself by living a false commitment anyway. I have a Libra friend who would never want to disappoint me. She just I get so excited about stuff and I want her to be involved, and she would be like, yeah, I'm doing it. And I could always kind of feel like she wasn't really into it, but she was acting like she was into it. And then at the last minute, she would always dip out. And at that point, when she would dip out, it would be the worst time for her to do that. Like, it would have been just so much better if from the beginning she was honest with both of us and like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. But she would wait until it became so uncomfortable and inconvenient and just like the worst time ever to do it. She was always not going to do it, you know? But she kind of like couldn't admit to it until she had to, because it was right before the thing. That's a betrayal. You lying to yourself and another person when you know that this isn't what makes you happy, that's the betrayal. You actually doing what makes you happy and being honest about it, that is in alignment with the universe. Please program this into your head. It is so important, Libra. Okay? I don't mean to be aggressive, but like, you know, we've had enough of your wishy-washy energy. Stop wasting our damn time. And your own. Cool. Alright, so we'll move on to Scorpio. We're only at, anyway, it's 20 minutes in. We're only at Scorpio. That's okay. How are you doing, Scorpio? I kind of miss the Scorpios in my life, but it's nice. Oh, I have a new Scorpio in my life, actually. I made a friend here in Philly, 33-year-old making new friends. I feel like that's good. It's a good sign. She's a Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. You're holding on to some burdens. At any point, you can put this down. He's been carrying around all these rods for a while, wands. He's fought for these ones. He's battled. He's won battle. He's been victorious. He's won, and then he's had people try to steal them after he's won, and then at the end of it, he has them all. And he's holding on to them, and they're freaking heavy as hell, and they're his burden, and he doesn't want to put it down because he earned it, yada, 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 this whole card. At any point, though, he can put them down. You can just take off this knapsack and put it down and move on and, not hold on to all of this burden anymore. Scorpio. I feel like I know a lot of Scorpios that have a way of holding on to their scars and all of their, challenges as a part of their identity almost, like, who am I without all of this baggage? Well, you're a passionate, badass, dark and dreamy, stormy human, and you're going to be that with or without these experiences. These experiences don't define you, and you kind of need to let them go and let the energy that is you be more translucent and less identified in your past, if that's okay. You're being called to really come into balance. All these people are annoyed, clearly. Let's see. So your Libra energy is on point right now. Can I find this card? I wonder. Nope. This is blue or purple? No, it's purple. Cool. All right. So I must create before the opportunity disappears. Inspiration. Running towards something may chase it away. Be wary of being deceived by your own desires. I take me wherever I go. Is there a part of my life that may be out of alignment with who I am? Chasing illusions, health matters, compulsive behavior, dietary imbalance, being result-oriented, self-neglect, honoring values. Keywords: assistance, courtesy, and support. Good. So we all end up in the same place, so enjoy the journey is the message, right? And then let's see, there's one more thing on here. This card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitant because of the past, but it doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This may mean the start of a relationship. Proceed slowly. Okay, so that makes sense with this, right? So right now, maybe there's some stuff opening up for you, Scorpio, and that's awesome, and it's like exciting, but all of these past experiences that you've have been through, right? All of this baggage that you hold on to. So you're feeling like a little reluctant to jump into a new relationship. Good. You should. You know that when you fall in love, it's a big deal, right? Or, you know, when you commit to a new passion, it's a big deal. Like a Scorpio who is passionate about a new hobby goes all out. Like, they're crazy, right? Like, I have a friend, my Scorpio friend, she's into skating. She owns like every pair of skates all of a sudden. She's skating every day, that's awesome. That's so cool. But no, when you're in, you're in. So don't jump in right away. If you feel hesitation, honor that. It doesn't mean like, oh, I need to force myself and pretend to be further along than I am. However, it doesn't mean block it out either. So how do you balance, this like that passionate, like I'm all in and this is my new life now with, oh yeah, I understand that this is something I need to kind of gradually transition into. So bringing those two aspects of yourself. You don't need to go into it as a wounded, like, yeah, but I've been hurt in the past. Like, shut up about that. Who cares? Everyone's been hurt in the past. Not trying to be insensitive, but get over it. As you are able to. I have Scorpio in my chart too. I'm teasing, but yes, you have that. You don't need to bring that into the relationship. You can take your time and know that you are worthy of love and worthy of being waited for, and still passionately engage with the person and not rush things ahead, so just go at your own pace, as balanced as you can, like actually I don't want to tell a Scorpio to go at their own pace necessarily, because you guys, just your pace is fast usually. Diving for light. Says 11. So I really do think maybe you're having an opportunity for a new relationship at this time, or at least doing some inner work that will welcome in a new relationship. And if that's the case, then you have to start to kind of see even anything that comes up as seeming like a sign of darkness or as a setback or as negative, seeing how you can see it differently, asking yourself, how can I see this differently? How can I see my past differently? How can I see this moment differently? How can I see this challenge differently? And in that moment, being open to how, even if you don't believe it, the possibility of the most positive version of reality, just entertaining that in your mind is going to be a really, really helpful practice for you and helpful meditation. It's not saying to be delusional, but in any moment, try to see, like, not a delusional version of it. Like, oh, like, clearly this person's a crackhead, but, like, maybe they're, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm saying in a realistic way, what are the positive possibilities, the positive outcomes, the positive lessons from whatever is presenting itself, whether it be a memory, whether it be the thing in front of you. Yeah? I think that's going to be a good practice for you. Good. And the Goddess deck. I feel like my computer's probably going to die before I'm done this. Order. New call. So let's see. I haven't seen this card before. I love her. We were just meeting, but I love her. Let's see. I'm very hummy today. I apologize, but not really. All right. New call floats into your life to assist you in creating order. Is chaos constantly peering around the edges of your life, Scorpio? Probably. Just kidding. Threatening to overwhelm you if you relax for an instant? Have you let things pile up and bury you? Do you find you are excellent at organizing your boss, your family, your mate, but not yourself? Are you afraid of order? Afraid that if you find a workable system for yourself, you will feel locked in, unable to flow? Or perhaps you have created order in your life, but in a way that is stifling and stiff, solid, heavy, engraved in stone. Now is the time to nurture yourself with order that assists rather than chokes your life force. Now, Ku says that when life is ordered in a natural way, you nurture your path to wholeness. When you forcibly impose something unnatural from without, you create rebellion and resistance. So, yeah, just noticing, especially in relationship, like a lot of Scorpios kind of manipulate the relationship into being what they want by like, you know, mind games. They don't even realize they're doing it. You know, Scorpios are such pure souls, but there's something about them that's so afraid to let things happen on their own that they control it in this very funky way. See if instead of controlling the other person, you can work on controlling your perspective and how you're seeing their actions, and be open to your inner, your giving and receiving, yeah, and your relationship with reality can be the relationship. It doesn't have to be another person, but work on controlling your perspective, your mood, your state of being. Stop trying to control the outer world. You know, the outer world will conform in some capacity, but you're not doing this work. I don't want you to be shifting your perspective because you want something to happen in the outer world. I want you to be shifting your perspective so that you're happy no matter what, so you're balanced no matter what, so that you're good no matter what. So you're seeing the light in all that is no matter what. And you're not so stuck in your burdens, in your baggage, in what has happened before. Because all of this, the only reason why it keeps coming up is because you keep regurgitating it. But there's so many other things happened at this time that you're not focused on. So, you know, the times where, you know, you were, whatever it is you're holding on to as like, I earned this. There's other stuff too. You just don't put that stuff on the pedestal, you know. I can think of, I have an ex, a Scorpio actually, that I dated way back in the day. And for the longest time, the story I told of him was just like, you know, he was just terrible, really. And then lately, I've had all these huge shifts in my consciousness, and now I'm so thankful for this guy because he like introduced me to yoga and like made me realize how much I love to exercise and you know, taught me how to eat healthy. And at the time it felt abusive and whatever, but now I'm just like, yeah, but he did something to shift what mattered to me, and I'm grateful for that. I'm glad I'm not with him. I'm glad that, you know, I didn't settle for that, but I am thankful. And yeah, seeing how you can rework these things in your life, I think will be really helpful. All right, Scorpio, I took way too much time on you, so we're moving on. I love you. Okay. Cool. So next we have Sagittarius. Sag, I've decided that I'm going to change the way I see you in my mind, because I think that you are much more playful and fun than I give you credit for. And so moving forward with that, you're being given a blessing to start moving forward. I'm actually going to read about the Chariot because the Chariot is the sign for Cancer. I'm a Cancer. And for whatever reason, I seem to be blocking out the meaning because I just think whenever I see it, I just think, oh, it's my card. It means conquest, control, victory, and motivation. The Chariot represents willpower, determination, self-assurance, and any challenge. The charioteer, that would be you, reminds us to be steadfast, exude self-control in situations, and arise in order to ensure victory over any obstacle. So the reason why this is the card for Cancer is because we have these hard shells, and even though we kind of get whatever, we're very resilient. We can handle things go wrong, but we usually can come back up afterwards. So you have a message of resilience this month, Sag. So, you know, maybe you're being congratulated for being resilient. Maybe there's a Cancer in your life that you're kind of learning from. Again, service is your next card. So this is feeling like you're, let's actually see what it says, so I don't want to just make it up. My Sag blocks are slowly dissipating. One day I'll explain all of my Sagittarius blockages, maybe in a video, but I love Sag energy. That's why I think I have so many blockages around it. Okay, service. I attract to you whatever you desire if you give up your desire. Ooh, that's a good message, right? Inspiration. Are you seeing your life as it really is? Though we may wish things to be different, often we create just what we need. This is an opportunity to look at where you are today, give up what you think you deserve, and start being of service. How does the idea of service inspire me? This is a question that you should ask yourself. How can I make the most of my present situation? Another good question. What can I give? Good. Yeah, Sag energy, I think in general, you're great. Don't let me make you feel bad about yourself. But in general, there is a tendency towards a little bit of self-centeredness. So seeing how the things that benefit you, how you can use that to of service would be really a good idea, for sure. For all of us, we'd all appreciate that. Key ideas. Favoritism, unwillingness to compromise values, finding contentment, the joy of service, precious memories. Keywords, compassion, loyalty, and strength. So I think this really has a lot to do with manifestation, what it seems like. In Sag, you're ruled by Jupiter, so you have magical powers to manifest things. So that's quite great. I apologize if you can hear people screaming in the background. I have no control over that whatsoever. Welcome to Philadelphia. Service. The energy here is one of manifesting. Did I not say? Through being of service. The card indicates a steadfast ability to stay the course emotionally and create something sustainable and lasting. It can bring to light not seeing or valuing what you have. So, yeah, there's things that you want, and you're working towards them, but understanding they're going to manifest more quickly if you can figure out how they're also serving other people and how you're grateful for what you already have. And that's going to make you victorious, which is wonderful. Good. So moving on to the Sacred Rebels. Sagittarius, October. Good. All right. Diving for light as well. So this is, I think this Libran energy, the October energy, is really asking you to kind of ask yourself again and again, how can I see this differently? If you're getting stuck in a negative, how can you be more grateful? How can I be of service? How can I be helpful? How can I be resilient? How can I move forward? How can I see myself as the victor in this? This is really, really important work for you, Sag. You are such a positive force of energy. You really can awaken so many people with your journey. I've seen so many Sages do this. But you get so down when you're down. Like, it's like really, really intense. So how can you, whenever that starts to show that it's happening, get yourself out of it by noticing how whatever's going on might be of service. How it might be serving you. How you might be able to serve others through it. And as a result, you're more likely to move in the direction, whatever it is that you're working towards. So I think you've received this card before in the past, but it's the Crisis card from the Goddess deck. What this means to me, my intuition is, if you've recently experienced some sort of crisis, or you've been living in the remnants of a crisis that happened way in the past, but for whatever reason is resurfacing, this is happening to serve you. And asking yourself this question, how can I see this differently? How can I find gratitude for this experience? How is this serving me? How can I serve others through it? Is really how you're going to balance that karmic skill, right? So you're not living from the wounding of it, but you're living from the resilience, the empowerment of it. Yeah, the being victorious, being in that thriving state. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Next, we have Capricorn. Capricorn, I love you. You're my fave. Well, you're all my faves, but I love Capricorn. My baby brother's a Capricorn. My best friend / ex-partner is a Capricorn. One of my really close girlfriends is a Capricorn. My roommate is Capricorn. A lot of my friends that aren't Capricorns are Capricorn rising or Capricorn Venus. Capricorns drive me crazy. They're so stubborn, but they're such good people. They're the best. They're just good-hearted people. You know, like, no one will piss you off more than a Capricorn. No one comes off as more of an asshole than a Capricorn. But if they're being an asshole, they usually have a good reason. Or, you know, sometimes there are some Capricorns that are just low level. Or they have areas of their life that they're low level about. It is definitely a old school patriarchal energy, so there is something there that, you know, it feels very Don Drapery, but I love Capricorns. That's the point of that. All right, Seven of Pentacles. Right now, it seems like you're really focused on your finances and whatnot. Let's get a little clarity on the Seven of Pentacles, because if you know anything about me, money is not necessarily my focus in life, which is why Capricorns can't stand me, but they love me, obviously, since I have so many of them. Anywho, so right now, profit, reward, investment, and growth is what is being called to your attention. So just noticing, you know, if that's what you're focused on right now. I can imagine a lot of the Caps in my life are really starting to hunker down on their career, but also receiving clarity that they're moving in. It's like they're really good at what they do, and maybe they can do it in a way that benefits them more. Cool. Soulmate. Nice. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm probably going to have to plug my thingamabob back in a second. Oh, this is such a silly video. I wonder, I'm going to have to post it anyway, but that's okay. If you're judging me, I'm just a mirror of you, and I'm sorry that you are unaccepting. Just kidding. I'm sure you're not judging me. It's fine. Way too many cards. I'm going to ignore all those. Alright, found it. Relax. Oh, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause and trust yourself. So, you know, Capricorn is also the devil in the tarot. So there is some tendency towards, you know, being stuck in a certain way. You know, there's a certain way that you do things. So seeing how, you know, noticing the things in your life that have a hold on you and stepping back from them and just feeling into the moment and seeing if they still have a hold on you, you know, and inquiring, like, why does this have a hold on me? Is this really, does this really have a hold on me? Am I choosing for it to have a hold on you? And then trusting in the answers that come up, I think is really going to have a lot of help for you this month as you balance your karmic energy. And I think really finding a balance between, you know, your financial life and your love life is very important. Yeah. I know too many Capricorns, so I don't want to say too much. But an energetic balance between the two, right? Capricorns think about their love life a lot, but I don't know. I don't know if you can use the same tactics for your love life as you do that make you so successful when it comes to your finances, right? We don't really respond well to that. So we'll see. Feelings and emotions. So I think really kind of you got the work thing in a good place. Like, you know what you're doing. You're good at what you do. You know how to make money. At this point, you're probably always going to be okay when it comes to money. And if you're not a Capricorn that's financially well off, it's a huge priority for you, and you will be eventually because you care about it so much. On the other hand, when it comes to your relationships, you seem to be having some trouble. And I think the reason is because you find so much success by turning the emotional side of you down and kind of pushing it and pretending it's not there, and seeing if you can kind of be a little bit more vulnerable and handle vulnerability in a way where you're not responding in this, like, I need you to act differently. I'm going to criticize you. I'm going to see the other person as something that I need to, like, fix, because that doesn't work. But instead, it's like, oh, right now I feel the way that I do. I feel uncomfortable because I'm vulnerable and I feel like lovey feelings and stuff. Yeah? So when it comes to the soulmate energy, just because you're successful using a certain way of your mind in the financial field, I don't think that you need to have space in your life for this side of you as well. And you're really good at turning the emotions off when it comes to work, and you should keep doing that because it's working for you. But when it comes to your relationships, your personal relationships, making sure that you're able to be vulnerable and honest and actually feel your feelings and not block them off and push them down, because it's not making you successful in this arena. And it's actually keeping you out of balance. So let's balance your emotions with your work ethic. Thank you so much, Capricorn. We're going to move on to Aquarius in a second, but first I need to plug in my laptop. I do like the individual videos because they seem to be a little bit more of a controlled environment, right? But, let's see how this goes. Let's see how you respond to silly Cole, and if it's not good, we'll go back to the other one maybe eventually. But for now, that's how the cookie crumbles, and we'll just accept silly Cole. Hopefully. All right, moving on. So Aquarius, it's your turn. Ooh, I need to adjust my seat and my legs. All right, so Aquarius. I recently reconnected with an Aquarius. When I was younger, I was like crazy obsessed with an Aquarius. Seems like you have some burdens that some heartache, betrayal, that it's holding you back and causing a little bit of delusion. So we're gonna let that go, but just something to consider. Anyway, yeah, when I was younger, I had like an unhealthy love for an Aquarius. And I don't even think I really cared all that much about him as much as I did about the idea. But anyway, I reconnected with him recently just to be like a human. And it's nice to just see people as humans instead of as these these embarrassments in your past that no longer serve you. Anywho, so this is the same card that Capricorn picked, so you're doing good financially. That's good. Good. Keep it up. Let's see what we need to bring into balance. But yeah, so my Aquarius person, all the people that I thought that I needed to be with or like really wanted to be with when I was younger, I'm so happy that it didn't work out because I love the experiences that I've had up until now, and it would have been silly, for them for a different version of reality to exist. And I try to remember that now, right? There's like ideas. Impatience is coming up. So maybe impatience when it comes to work. Maybe you're expecting to be more financially well off than you are right now, and you're getting sick of waiting. Yeah. So just remembering this, this is valid, right? So this idea of like wanting this thing to manifest and it not happening and not understanding why, like what's wrong with me? Like why wouldn't this person want to like experience reality with me? But then just trusting that there might be something better out there for you, and if it's not working, then just like let it go. So there's that. And this can apply to you, Aquarius, when it comes to whatever it is that you're trying to manifest right now, and you're feeling a little bit of impatience. I feel like Aquarius can often be impatient with other people. Just like a little, Pandora's gift. I'm going to look this up because I always get a little confused by this card. She's beautiful, right? Pandora is all gifted and all giving. Her presence invites you to forgo your belief in judgment. Now is the time to surrender the misplaced guilt that you may have brought upon yourself or another, some terrible happening. It is time to let go of the shame-based belief in punishment. This is a belief that you deserve to be brought to task over any perceived imperfection, or that your natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. Pandora frees the soul from such torment. This is her gift. The human journey necessarily involves learning through experience. There is no shame in your learning process. Pandora's presence is the sign of a new time, a time to swap the notion of inherent shame for the acceptance of inherent divinity. From this moment on, how unstoppable you shall become. The sacred rebellion is happening within your soul as a powerful uprising toward liberation. You are breaking free from the weighty circumstances of the world, from the power games that bore you senseless, and from the insanity of sacrilegious priorities of this world. Dare to disobey anything and everything that is not divine. Pandora is the leader of your soul revolution. She divines the vicious judgments of history and all that has been said about her. She shrugs off miserly despair, and I lied. She shrugs off misery, despair, and the weight of the world. Cool. As this shift takes place, you shall dare to look within your own being and find the light. Okay. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically, it feels like right now your life is a little bit all work and no play. Yeah. And it's creating a little bit of impatience. Thinking of Aquarius in my life that this doesn't apply to, but maybe there is something, you've worked really hard, you've invested, you're doing things, you have your shit together when it comes to your finances, but you're feeling impatient because you don't know what the next step is. And you feel like maybe there's some guilt coming up because what you really want versus, like, you feel some guilt about how you're going about this, and you're doubting yourself. So I wonder if you need to just kind of do some inner work right now. So it seems like you're looking outside. That's what this Pandora's gift is kind of talking about. It's like you might be a little too focused on the outer world and how things are coming, and instead, like, shifting the focus a little bit and seeing all the blessings all around you is going to be much more helpful, so that you're not doubting where you are, so you can actually appreciate. It seems like you have a lot of really good things going on right now, and you're doubting yourself, and you're feeling like bad about it for some reason, and maybe a little bit of impatience because for whatever reason something's missing. You're not completely happy. The only way that you're going to be able to do that is to start doing some practices, right? So meditating, using mindfulness, shifting your focus throughout the day, and then starting to, like, free yourself of obligations that really don't serve you anymore. If there's something that you're holding on to out of obligation, you're not really helping anyone. Yeah. So whatever whatever role you're holding right now because you feel like you have to, because society tells you to, it's creating some difficulty inside of you that's not necessarily serving the highest good. Let's read about this impatience card, just for a little bit more clarity, because I'm feeling a little bit of a block with you right now. Aquarius, might be because I talked too much before. If I don't take care of it, it'll never happen. Okay, so yeah, you're shouldering way too much burden right now. Maybe you're taking on too much financially. If there's someone in your life that you're supporting, maybe it's time to ask them to step up into their role, or at least, they might not need to do as much as you're doing, but maybe a little bit more. Now is not the time to make a rushed decision. You have made your needs known, now leave it alone. You may block something wonderful from coming to you if you are hasty. Am I jumping the gun? If I am honest with myself, am I forcing something? Scarcely thinking, being exhausted by your efforts, success through patience, unfolding, revelation, and success. Yeah, I think you just need to really kind of feel into what's going right now, and know that, maybe you want to raise, maybe you feel like you deserve more than what you're getting, and that's creating a little bit of self-doubt. Know that, it is coming. It's just going to come on its own, and to not necessarily get too wrapped up into negativity about that, but also be willing to look into your other options, right? If you don't feel appreciated where you're at and you're doing all this hard work and you're doing a great job, start to see what else is out there. You might realize that if you look into other work, you think that you're feeling like resentments at your current job, and you go and you see your other options, and all of a sudden you really appreciate your current job. If it has to do with your love life, which it doesn't look like it has anything to do with that, sometimes going out and spending time with other people makes you realize, like, oh wow, no, I definitely don't want to date anyone else. Or, the opposite could happen. Your desire to create may overpower the necessity of aligning with divine timing. The time to shine will come. Move with the energy and not in front of it. Being present has its own reward. Yeah, so just don't doubt yourself. Just try to be present, accept where you're at, knowing you've put in the work, the investment is there, it's all coming. You don't need to rush any of it. Okay? Great. Thank you. So next we have Aquarius, is followed by Pisces. Hi, Pisces. Lovers. So you might have a big choice that you need to make right now, or maybe you are really embracing a soulmate connection, a lover, a new partner in life. All this is nice, right? Good. Me too. Impasse. And so whenever we start to partner with someone or we're making choices, it's a good idea to ask yourself, am I being adaptable, right? Like, yes, something's changing right now. Can I handle change? Sometimes when we move into relationship, especially after being single, we're so used to being on our own that like little things that, you know, we think we want a relationship, but really we want our alone time, or like we don't like the way people interact or chew or whatever the hell it is. So being able to be adaptable if you're spending time with another person is a good idea. Embracing the changes that are coming up for partnership. There's a chance that this is going to cut off, and if that's the case, then I'll just make a second video. Defend the end, be worthwhile. So, you know, there might be things that you feel a little annoyed about when it comes to this new partnership or this change that's happening in your life, but see if you can focus on the things that are really, really worth you being adaptable in this change, and commit to those things, and not so much on the the parts that might not seem so great, because in truth, you know, life is never perfect. It's really about our perspective and what we allow to be on the pedestal in our mind. I can think of, I went on a date recently. It was the best date I've ever been on in my entire life. It was so fun. And the thing that I focused on was like this minute detail in the person that just completely repulsed me. Meanwhile, everything else was good. Such a Piscean thing to do. So just kind of see if you can focus on the things that are good rather than the negative. And it seems like this whole experience, whatever this partnership, this choice that you're making right now, is actually here as an awakening for you. So as you tap into this Libran energy of justice and balance, you know, I think letting other people in and allowing yourself to be adaptable with their energy and not hoard your time to yourself is really going to allow you to understand what really matters in life, and that is going to cause an awakening, which is going to help even out your playing field so that you can move forward into the passionate season of Scorpio without this imbalance that has come before. All right, thank you, Pisces. Next we have Aries. Ooh, hi Aries. How are you doing? I love Aries. I love everyone, right? Is there anyone I don't love? I don't think so. Can't think of anyone. Maybe that new Zodiac sign that I don't know the name of. But it's not that I don't love them, I just don't know who they are, or what they are, why it exists. But I'm sure that I still love it. Alright. Aries. 3 of Pentacles. It's a good time to collaborate with other people, go out on dates, enjoy your time, making sure that you're not only stuck in what you normally do, but opening up to other people. You're going to benefit from that right now, looking into other options, collaborating with other people, being creative. You're being called to have faith. So as you're collaborating with other people, having faith in them, you know, not assuming the worst, not assuming anything negative. You don't normally do this, but sometimes you can hold grudges for very peculiar reasons. You know, Aries just just get super offended about the weirdest, not the weirdest things. They always make sense. They make complete sense, but they're not always necessary. Releasing allegiances and bringing it into form. So releasing allegiances, there might be a past version of yourself or someone in your life that you kind of don't want to disappoint. Maybe there's the badass version of yourself from the past that like no longer actually fits into your life that you're trying to prove right, or whatever it is, letting that go, so that you're not living for an energy that doesn't serve you anymore. And this is going to allow you to bring your best life into form, one where you're not trying to make a version of you happy that you don't even care about anymore, that you're not anymore, but instead the life that you actually want to live and you have nothing to prove. And really having faith as you're doing this is really going to create more balance and harmony in your life. And that's the goddesses. Shakti energy, Aries. I think you should start meditating or doing yoga or something a little more so that you can get more in touch with like your power. Sometimes you don't realize how powerful you are. And if you can disperse that energy throughout your whole body, I think it's going to allow for a lot more happiness and ease in this next part of your life. But more importantly, it's going to allow you to share some of your blessings with other people, share some of your power with other people in a way that you can empower them as well. I think there's a part of you that is afraid to empower other people because of things that might have happened in the past, but having faith in them, knowing that it's not going to sting you if you're able to lead in the way that you authentically lead, which is by kind of just speaking the truth and allowing, kind of holding the energy of freedom, of liberation, of childlike wisdom. So please do some of that inner work so that you can disperse that energy for all of us, and I think that's going to balance out some of your karmic debts. Not that you have a bunch here. This is like one of your first lifetimes probably if you're an Aries, so you're doing fine. Okay. I don't know if it's one of your first lifetimes. That's just something I assumed or I heard somewhere. Okay, so next we have Taurus. Taurus, Queen of Wands. All right. So Taurus, it is time to feel confident, like a badass, yummy lady that everyone wants. And that's not chasing anyone. You just look good. Everyone wants to be around you. You're passionate. You're hot. All right? Cool. What else for Taurus? So maybe you've been feeling a little down about yourself, Taurus, and this is just really the way to bring you into balance is to just let that go and really feel into your confidence. Is it getting faster and faster? And Taurus rising, so maybe I'll channel some of that confidence. So smiley lately. It's really weird. I've been like freaking people out on the street. Anyway, vanity. Ooh, so maybe you're a little too confident. Is that the thing? Let's see. Well, there's some other ones that came out. Completion, expansion, and despondence. Cool. So I don't think any of these are your cards. So just a warning. You can be confident without being vain or full of yourself. It's not really helpful. You can be the shit and be super, super confident and super, super beautiful and not chasing anyone, and it doesn't mean that you're better than anyone either. You can be equal and still be the shit and still shine for your own reasons and not be obsessed with your appearance or anything like that. Follow your instincts. Cool. So when you're in this confident state where you feel like you're it, like you finally have become your full self, you're going to trust your instincts. You're not going to be led astray. Okay? So maybe in the past you weren't super confident, and it created like this feeling that you should be confident because you're beautiful or whatever it is. And as a result, you didn't follow your instincts. So moving forward, that's not the case because you actually are confident. You're not just pretending to be. Against the grain. Cool. So just kind of, I think this is a message to kind of go with the flow a little bit. Let's see. This oracle comes with a special message for you. You are someone who lives and breathes in the depths of creative waters. You need to lose yourself in the flow of music, nature, dreams, imagination, fantasy, thought, through art, literature, meditation, dance, and sensual surrender to the sacred waters of the ocean, the river, the lake, or the bathtub. You must go against the grain. It is just your way. You are not one of the followers, but one of the agitators. However, yours is not a force of disrespectful chaos. You are a loving catalyst. My computer. Put the screensaver on. So you are a loving catalyst. What? And by simply being yourself, you constantly remind people that there is always another way. Okay. Yeah, so just be yourself. You don't need to conform to anyone else. You don't need to question the way you look, the way you feel. It's just really an empowerment to be yourself, to go with your instincts, and to shine. And this is really going to help you pay off karmic debts. Balance karmic debts. Receive the blessings of karmic imbalances. Alright, and last is illusion. So when you feel any other way than confident, sometimes we have evidence as to why we should feel that way. When we feel like we shouldn't follow our instincts, we have evidence of it. But really, this evidence is an illusion. It's not true. Nothing is true. Actually, in all reality, none of this is really all that here. It seems to be here, but it's just like a bunch of particles and ions or whatever the hell you want to call it, moving around through space. And if it's looked at in a microscope, it's really just really far apart, and none of it actually makes sense. It's all an illusion. Don't get caught up into it. Just play the game of life. And the game of life for you right now is playing the game as a confident, badass lady who follows her own instincts, who's willing to be herself, and knows that anything that distracts her from this is just an illusion. Okay? Sound good? Thank you. All right. And then we have, after Taurus comes Gemini. Hi, Gemini. How are you doing? I love you guys. All right. What messages do we have for Gemini when it comes to the Libra energy this month? Two of Wands. Let's see. Focus, decision, discovery, and planning. Yes, need to focus. It's time to focus, Gemini, on one thing and make some decisions. What should we focus on? Maybe you've been a little unfocused lately, a little distracted. Now you're ready to focus. Or maybe you are more focused than you've ever been. Confusion and discovery. All right. So yeah, it sounds like you are figuring out how to focus and what to focus on. We talked earlier today that confusion is a blessing, right? So when we're confused, it's an indication that we don't know what we want yet, that we don't know the thing yet, and that's okay to be there and to just accept that that's where you are and to not pretend that you were further along than you are. And this is an impasse, so just the way that you're going to be more focused is to be adaptable, to not try to force things into the way that you think that they should look or be, but to you be the consistent thing that can adapt to whatever this illusionary reality brings your way. And the more you adapt in a positive way, the more this reality reflects what you want and what you've been focusing on. Getting very thirsty. Cancer. Give me more after this. This one wants to be yours. Defend to the end the worthwhile. So you're becoming adaptable and you're focusing, but try to focus on the things that really are designed or that are leading you toward the direction of your ideal, right? The Libra energy is working towards the ideal. So as we work on these scales of justice and trying to bring things into this ideal playing field, you want to have that in the back of your mind of, how you can be adaptable in this situation so that you're moving more towards the thing that you're defending, that final product, you know what I mean? The things in your life that you really love and appreciate the most. How can you stay in a place where you're appreciating them? How can you focus on the things that allow you to be in alignment with the most important essence of that, whatever it is you're building or whatever it is you're protecting? And what you're being told is to be adaptable. How can you be more adaptable? That's what makes you human, right? That adaptability. And again, you're in the crossroads. So you're learning. You're learning about yourself. You're learning that there's something inside of you that is consistent, and to focus on that consistent part of you, whether it be kindness, whether it be knowing what truly matters and what doesn't. But in order to really, really choose and get out of this confusion of like what you're supposed to be doing or why you matter, why you don't matter, it's just showing up in each moment as adaptably as you can, but keeping your focus on the thing that matters most to you. So it's like, what matters most to me is love or kindness, whatever it is. And I'm going to adapt to each of these circumstances that challenge me in a way where I can maintain this one thing that matters to me most of all. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I know you can't respond, but this is the crossroads you're at right now. Is how do I shift my focus so that I can stay in this place most of the time? And that is going to clear your karmic debts. And that is going to balance the karmic debts of others. Okay? Sound good? You got some work to do when it comes to your inner mind. Just try not to be, no judgment. There's no judgment. There's no need to judge. All right. And then we have Cancer. Hi, Cancer. I love you, but, I'm a Cancer, so of course I do. How do you balance yourself right now? Knight of Pentacles. Pace yourself, maybe. Let's see what this means. Knight of Pentacles. Prepared, efficient, ambitious, and practical. Okay, so, sounds good. You got big goals, you're looking at the long-term vision. So everything that you're working on right now, it's like you're preparing yourself for something bigger in the future. And you don't need to tell everyone about it, you can keep it to yourself. But being really practical with your choices right now. What's actually moving you in that direction, and not jumping on anything that's going to completely take you in a different direction. And be ambitious. You can have big. Cancers can really achieve anything. I've always been surprised by it. Balance. You need this. I think mostly balancing, what you're taking in, what you're giving out, who you're around, what you're doing, the different energies in life, work and play. Making sure that you feel like you're putting in as much effort as you're receiving. You're showing up. Power of attraction. Yeah. you're manifesting something big right now. So I'm not going to ask what it is, but this is your time to play with that fertility. Hold on. You're a big soul, and with that often comes big dreams. You might worry that you want too much out of life. Perhaps you think that you are only capable of small dreams. It's not true, Cancer. Perhaps you think, if you have drawn the Big Bold Vision card as well, which you did not, this oracle is guiding you to remember that there are stages of creation. A house cannot be built without the flooring, no matter how beautiful the stained glass windows you plan to install are. The walls need to be up first. Your big life dreams are a work in progress, just like you. This oracle comes with a special message. You have recently completed a cycle or a level of manifestation and are transitioning into the next level of experience, like a big fish leaving the small pond and feeling like a rather small fish in a bigger pond. There will be some getting used to it, time needed as you find your way. This feels very appropriate. This will add to what you have already done and bring valuable expansion to your realizations of your abilities, as well as many new relationships and opportunities to help you go further on your journey. This is so good. So yeah, you can have that big vision. You can be ambitious. Don't pretend that you're there before you're there. Take your time, find balance along the way, and see about practicing, getting yourself used to, acclimating to this new lifestyle or whatever it is that you're manifesting. Because if it manifested right now, I don't think you're going to be ready, right? Not just yet, but you just starting to get adapting to it and figuring out what it's like really makes sense to me. Cool. I like this, Cancer. What are you up to? I know what I'm up to. Kind of know what I'm up to, but I like this message because it makes me feel like I'm actually up to it and not just like pretending to be up to it. Yay. And beliefs. So just, I think it's time to really get rid of some limiting beliefs that aren't serving you. Cancers are manifestors. We're here to make things happen. We're the mother of the Zodiac, right? So there's whatever you believe, whatever you're creating in your reality that's holding you back, be mindful of that, but also replacing it with beliefs that are actually helping you with your big, bold vision, your whatever it is that you're manifesting, and try to bring a balance between like practicality and that dreamy part of you that comes up with these amazing ideas that really can improve the lives of others. All right, Cancer. For you. Leo, it's your turn. Then we have Virgo, and then we're done. Leo, I don't have any Leos in my life right now. My cousin, who's a Leo, reached out to me recently, so maybe she'll be my Leo for this chapter in life. I need to have a Leo in my life to just kind of let me see where I am when it comes to my ego center. I realize I've had this thumbtack here this whole time. I love that. Where did it even come from? I don't know. At least it's a cute color. Alright, Leo, King of Cups. So kind of stepping into that caring, balanced, emotional energy, where it's like you care. This is in my opinion, it is a water sign card. But Leo and the King of Cups makes sense to me. It's just like that loving, fatherly energy that, that's caring. The emotions are balanced, but it's sweet and tender. And then the well is a message of nurturing that energy. But it came up upside down, so it's just supporting the King of Cups card. So, yeah, maybe there's people that you care about right now, and you being able to show that caring energy in a way that feels balanced and it's not to prove anything. It's just, you know, how you can often, oh, the empath again. So yeah, you know, how you can be adaptable with this new energy of being able to love and care just for the sake of loving and caring, and you know, holding it down for people in a way that you feel nourished in doing it. You don't feel like you're being depleted at all, and you getting the attention that you really need, the validation you really need, but in a new way, in a way where it's happening because you're caring, and your emotions are balanced. You're really focusing on the good in people right now. So rather than focusing so much on yourself and how other people are making you feel, if they're showing that they recognize your light, you're focusing on the light in them, and then as a result, your light shines more brightly. This is good, really good. Yeah, a Leo focusing their light on you is one of the best things ever, and then you can't help, like, Leos are so charming, right? So once they're in that place, oof, what a wonderful, wonderful energy. Yeah, a balanced, emotionally balanced Leo that's just adaptable and can handle other people getting attention and seeing how they shine through that, giving, oh, so nice. So awesome. That's going to definitely balance out some karmic energy. Oh, centering. So for you to do this on a daily basis, you need to have some sort of centering practice, whether it be some like serious deep breaths in the morning, or a writing exercise, or dancing, or running, or something that you do, whether it be for 5 minutes or an hour every single day, no matter what, is going to help you be able to see the light in other people and shine it back in this way that really, really fills you up and brings you into emotional balance and helps you become more adaptable in this next chapter of life. And this adaptability is going to balance out the karmic scales, so that your karmic debts start to balance out, as well as those who have, you know, karma because of how they've treated you. Okay, sound good? Hope so. Oh, I want to see Leo in this really positive energy. So nice. So nice. I miss having healthy Leos in my life. They're just really, when they're good, they're so good. I think I'm going to call in some Leos. I don't want to date a Leo or anything, but I would love like a friend. Particularly like male Leos quite a bit. Virgo. All right, Virgo. You're looking back a little bit right now, and you're reflecting. Let's see. Here it comes. We had this earlier, but it's a little doozy doing all these in one sitting. I like it though. It's fun. Abandonment, travel, loss of interest, and withdrawal. Okay, so you know something really got your hopes up. You had a bunch of choices. You chose one of those choices, and it's not really what you want, and that's okay. And you're just kind of figuring out what the next thing that you want to focus on is, and that is perfectly okay. You are allowed to do that. You are allowed to get the thing that you want and then realize that it's not what you want. You're allowed to focus on yourself, Virgo. I know that you don't know that, but like, you can. There's nothing wrong with it. It's completely fine. And we've talked about this throughout the readings. There's a big theme in the readings today of not thinking that you can actually do the thing that brings you joy and pleasure and happiness, but understanding that you're not helping anyone by suffering or being a martyr. You're really not. You're causing suffering by doing that. You actually authentically moving in the direction of your joy and happiness, even if it doesn't end up being the end product, is the best thing you can do for all parties involved. You got to do it compassionately and kindly and not rushed, but it is still the most compassionate thing you can do. You're being asked to focus on gratitude right now. So what about this experience that disappointed you can you be grateful for? What is it clarifying for you? What about this moment that you're in right now, even though that experience disappointed you, can you be grateful for? What about, what about the possibilities that are forward can you be grateful for? but in general, you are being asked to really focus on your gratitude. This is so important for Virgos because you can have like a very keen awareness of what is not right and what can be improved, but seeing if there's anything in each moment that is perfect that you can be grateful for, and even if it's not perfect, that you can authentically and truly find gratitude for. This is going to help balance out that karmic energy. These are not your cards. In the world, not of the world, faith in the process. Messages for you. You might want to keep in mind you are a spiritual being having a human experience and having faith that even if you're disappointed right now, eventually everything's working out and you've seen it work out in the past. Nothing is permanent. Just because something doesn't last forever or isn't the end all be all doesn't mean that it isn't amazing and that there's plenty of experiences that are worthy of having. Your card is be the hunter, not to be hunted. So you choose what you want and not just like responding to what is being presented to you, but using your gratitude practice and your disappointments to kind of inform you as to what it is that you actually want out of this life, instead of you just receiving it and being burdened by it and like, oh, okay, I'll just respond to this and I'll just live from this reality because life is happening to me. No, life isn't happening to you. Life is, that's all that it is. And you're responding to it. It's not happening, it doesn't care about you. It's just happening and you're perceiving it from your current perspective. How can you shift that perspective so you're not so disappointed? By being grateful. That's it. By being grateful that you get to experience it, that you get to live it, that you get to be here, that you get to breathe, that there's still chances for more love, for more experiences. All of that is what is worthy of being grateful for. Asking yourself, what do you feel, is very important. And collaborative dreaming is really about, being able to share this life experience with other people without other people's perceptions and energy taking away or bleeding into yours. So for you to be able to have your own version of reality without taking on other people's versions of reality. Okay? So, and the way that you can do this is by really, as you're starting to get swept away by someone else's story or whatever, is to just tap into how you're feeling in your heart space. And in this moment, as a person is giving you information or whatever's happening, what can you be grateful for right now? And feeling into that great gratitude. Just popping out today. You're also at a crossroads, so keeping that in mind, you're choosing. And what you're choosing is to surrender. Surrender, to receive, to stop doing, stop making things happen, and just receive the blessings. Be grateful for this moment in front of you. You will know when it's time to act, to do, to make things happen. You'll know. You'll respond, right? But stop trying so hard to make things appear and be in a certain way. And this is going to allow you to choose how you're experiencing reality rather than being burdened by how reality is showing up to you. I hope that makes sense. So the way that you're going to balance your karmic debts and everything else is by really focusing on what there is to be grateful for, even if there's been disappointments in the past, and to surrender to the moment that you're in. Feel your whole body, feel your breath, smell the smells in the room. Whatever it is, just really taking it in and seeing, even if it feels like pain somewhere in the body, I get to experience this right now. I'm alive. I'm here still. And this pain could go away at any point. What if this pain did go away? What would that mean? What would that be like? Oh wait, I'm not feeling the pain anymore because I'm focused on the things that excite me and make me feel grateful for being alive. Okay? All right. Happy Libra season to everyone. Thank you for joining me for this very long video. I will put the timestamps up accordingly, and I hope to make a few more videos this month if it's at all possible. If not, I hope you enjoyed my goofiness, and if you appreciated your reading in this video, please leave a donation or a love offering using the link in my profile. Have a great day and an even better month. Happy, happy, happy life, and a happy birthday to my beautiful grandmother and my very loving father. Thank you so much for this life. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your kindness. Namaste.